let's say you're crazy, you have a lot of money on the side, and you are sometimes profitable, sometimes unprofitable. You get a few payouts, you have a few accounts. Well, the second overall stage is when you can scale up the risking. For example, you have 10% drawdown, right? And 5% is daily. But we don't need, we can ignore the daily. We have 10% drawdown overall. And when you call yourself a fine, normal trader, a little bit skilled, there shouldn't be a problem with increasing the percentage risk per trade. Not a lot, but let's say you start with 0.5% risk when you have like no challenges, no accounts, you're like a small guy, a small trader. But when you have a few, you can start the challenges with 1% risk per trade. That's enough. And then you're aiming for 1 to 2 risk to reward. If you have a good good win rate, you maybe need just 5 trades or 6 trades and you're done. And 5-6 trades you can easily do in a week. I am doing that most of the times in a day. I mean, you see it, right? But with the funded accounts, you should first, as I said, get the 4% maybe a few times. Yeah, that will equal 1.5 months. Bi-weekly, 6 weeks, you could get 12% payout. On the other accounts, when you see that this one is going well, first try with the small safe accounts. Yeah, I mean, you have multiple accounts and you know like which funded account is for what. It's like your own decision. But you should start with the safe one. Because when you do mistakes, you will not get emotionally affected. You will still be the chill guy. Okay? But imagine you have 3 funded accounts and you started with the one where you're risking a lot. 2% or whatever. Or it's your biggest funded account. And now you have a lose. 2 lose. 3. Fuck. Now you start to get emotional and you will ignore the rules you applied on the first account, and instead of 0.5% or 1%, you're increasing the risk. And not even this account is damaged, but now both accounts are damaged. And this is a trap. This happens super fast when you don't pay attention. Again, my prime time was when I had 2.5 or 2.6 million in funding. That was the craziest time, but also the most, let's say, the messy time, because then you have too many accounts, or not even that. Too many accounts is not a problem, but too many different prop firm accounts, different rules, different stuff. Yeah, and it will. Everyone who has multiple different accounts on different firms knows what I mean. So on that topic, right now, I would say stick with 2 or 3 prop firms. That's enough. Yeah, back in the days, I talked about, yeah, we need to have 2 million, 3 million fund. Trust me when I say this. 2 or max 3 prop firms is enough. You can make a living out of this, but for sure, you still, or you should have your own capital account on the side. On FTMO, you have 400k max allocation. On funding pips, you have 300. On pip farm, you have 300. That alone is 1 million. That's 1 million. That's enough. And now split it up. These are probably 2 accounts. On funding pips, you have only 100k, so these are 3 accounts. And on pip farm, yeah, it depends. Do you want to have 100k accounts or 300k? But let's say you have 1 200 and 100k. Then you have 2, 5, 6, 7 accounts. And you see from the example, from the last section, you are way above that, way above 4 or 5. You have 7 accounts. And then maybe if you want to, you could also still try different firms. But what I would literally tell anyone is that should be your only goal. Just barely 7-digit funded. That's enough. I made my comeback out of the, what's it called, rock bottom, with only 2 accounts. And the third account completely shoot me to the moon. Yeah, it changed my whole life, my whole lifestyle, my whole life situation with only 3 accounts. But it was, to be honest, it was 2 because the third one came after the payouts. And the payouts were huge. And for anyone who says, I don't like the 4% thing, bro, you can, as you want, still trade more. But the problem is, if the account matters, if the money matters, you will get 100% emotionally affected. You don't even realize that. And then you start to trade and overtrade, risk once more, twice more. And then you start to do shitty decisions. And then you're looking back, oh damn, I blown an account. How the fuck did I do that? It can happen super, super quickly. And that's what I'm telling to everyone, who is like in need, has problems and need money. Bro, still try to calm your ass down and trade slowly until you get the first, let's say, until you get to level up with your bank account. Yeah, let's say you had 1K or whatever, 2K, and now you manage to get, after 1-2 months, 5 to 10K, for example. Then you would have a huge buffer to take future calm and composed decisions. And you see, we don't even talk about the charting. This is just like the background, the foundations for everything. And you see how far it goes. So when I say you should literally take all that stuff seriously, and I know there are still people who will say, oh no, I don't need this, I have this. Bro, when you would have this, you would definitely get way more money out of the markets in a month. There shouldn't be a logical issue with not getting money out of the markets when you would imply different risk management rules with different account management rules to overall accounts. Bro, you could literally just blindfoldedly take one-on-one trades. You would get, most likely, profitable at the end of the month. And now people would argue with me, bro, I'm always ready for the discussion. You can't take this opinion out of me because it makes sense for me. I mean, the golden key here is you're using a 1 risk to reward. That means you're going for a higher risk, for a higher win rate, but the percentage or the likelihood that the trade could hit TP when you just place a medium well entry is high because it's 101. So it literally just depends on how well you can execute the trade. But it didn't need to be perfect because it's a 101. And that's the beauty of it. It's like a 50-50. And now you're using your technicals and the risk management behind all of that to hire the 50-50 invisibly to a 70-30 or 80-20. And it is literally real and reality because that's exactly what I did and what I'm still doing and implying. There is no different secret sauce. That is the perfect rule I'm amplifying, I'm applying up to date. And if you say, hey Greco, now you're talking way too far away, you're right now talking about fundeds and profits, but I still can't pass the challenge, bro, just watch the next sections and you will see how a 1 risk to reward or max a 2 risk to reward is enough to calm down your ass and to get to see you more blue numbers on your screen. Because when I see, or what I observe, people are addicted to hitting like this fancy 5 wrist reward trade, 7 wrist reward, you know, all the screenshots and the chatting. And bro, this ain't a beauty contest. We are here to make safe money. And I know this from far way behind, like 2023, when I were hitting the leaderboards multiple times in a row. People were arguing or making jokes about my 1 wrist reward. And now we have 2025. And my life is wonderful. God bless. And you see it all the time, every time, yeah, every week, everywhere. Doesn't matter if it's Twitter or Instagram. You see how I still consistently perform and getting payouts after payouts after payouts. You're literally following it and seeing it in real life. And the question, how? I mean, the payouts aren't even small. Yeah, I'm not posting 1k payout or 2k. It's always 10k, 15, 22, whatever it is, yeah. And that's the secret. To know when to shift the gears with your accounts. You have to play with the accounts. You have to be more creative and more flexible in your mind. This shit ain't just about charts and putting stop loss and TP, bro. There's also a backside of it. How you manage it overall, bro. And that's the perfect order how I'm doing this mentoring. And we're starting with the mind first and with the invisible stuff first. Because that is, in my opinion, the most important part. You will see, bro, charting with 2 or 3 confirmations is all you need. Sometimes I have only 1 confirmation and I'm still hitting bangers. Yeah, that's the magic of being a scalper. There are some people waiting and waiting and making 1 sharp shot and maybe hitting a huge trade. And there are people like me with a LMG. I'm just shooting around, but wisely with intention. And I know more than 50% of my shots will hit the target. And then when I combine the backside of it, you can't not see blue numbers at the end of the month. It's impossible. At least for me. But yeah, see you in the next section.